Greetings, my intro class. So, what I'm intending to show you guys today with this video are some of the really cool things we can do with what are called constraints, as well as using a little something called the mirror tool. This gets covered more and again later in the PL2W curriculum. I'm introducing it to you now because it's something that can help you out when you're making your charms. So before I get started on an actual piece that I'm going to use, I'm going to introduce you to what some of these different things are. So as usual, I'm going to have my origin on. Um, so we're only dealing with extrude, revolve, fillet, and chamfer. I'll show you later with something with shell because that'll be potentially something useful for you later. But that'll be after you've first made your design. Most of what we're dealing um, with the constraints is when we're in a sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch. And before I get started in the constraints, there is one more of these tools over here I definitely want to show you, because we've done line, we've done rectangle. So line's pretty straightforward, no pun intended. Rectangle, you get either the 2-point rectangle, the 3-point rectangle, which works like this. Doot, doot. So you can actually do this is what angle I need it at, and this is how far out it goes for that one. Circle, we can do a center diameter circle. We can do a circle made by 2 points. 2-point circle would look like this. It's like I need to go from there to there and make it a circle. That's also a way to do a circle. 3-point circle. Doot, doot, doot. So it's like it needs to touch these 3 places. It would be a 3-point circle. 2 tangent circle is basically, tangent just means that the curve touches it at one spot. So I did that a little bit with the previous video with that. We'll worry more about those later. If you end up needing it, that's something we can do. But for the most part, we usually use that center diameter circle. Arc. Arc is just a piece of a circle. 3-point arc is literally just, you go from there to there and then pull the arc out. A center point arc is one where you go, this is my middle, and I start there and end there. And a tangent arc has to come off of a line and works like this. It's like from there, and it'll always be coming straight out of that line. We can do polygons later. If you need it for your shape, let me know. Need it for what you're making design, let me know. Same thing with an ellipse. Ellipse is just a stretch circle. Slot, you shouldn't need. Conic curve, you shouldn't need any of those. But the one cool one in here that I want to show you is the spline. Spline is how you can make things that are a curvy line. So spline can be like, doot, doot. Oh, now it's curved. Curve, curve, curve. You can end it. And if you need to adjust it, you can actually grab these little things and turn how you want that curve to be. These little green bits. You can also move the points. Spline is just a cool thing to make more interesting looking curves. So I just wanted to show you guys those before I start playing with the constraints. So your constraints. These are all your constraints. Horizontal, vertical, coincident, tangent, equal, parallel, perpendicular, fix and unfix, midpoint, concentric, collinear, symmetry, and curvature. We're not going to worry too much about the curvature one for right now. But these other ones can be really useful. We don't even use fix and unfix all that often, but it still can be useful. So horizontal vertical basically means, okay, I've got these two objects and I need them to line up vertically. So I'm going to just be like horizontal vertical. This is going to be vertical with that, and they'll line up vertically. If they're closer to being horizontal, they'll pop to horizontal. They don't have two different commands for that. So if I actually wanted it to be horizontal, I'd probably drag it up here more and go do, hey, look, I already had it selected. So now it's this way. So that symbol means horizontal. The upright symbol means vertical. Okay, coincident. Coincident means that they are on the same spot. You put a point can be coincident on a line, or 2 points can be coincident with each other. So I'll go ahead and do a rectangle here and say I want to make that corner coincident with the center. And now they are. It's sort of arbitrary if these are all blue, which one's going to shift. So that's one of the big reasons why we like to anchor it on the origin. So that's a good way to make sure things match up. So that's coincident. Tangent, as I was saying before, is where a straight line only touches, a curve only touches a straight line once. So if I say this is tangent, this line could be tangent with that one, and that if this continued, it would actually, I'll show you. As you see, it just touches it the once. Doesn't cross it, just touches it. That's what tangent means. Really useful if you're trying to do something like an ice cream cone or something like that. Equal. We've used this one before. All this means is literally this dimension, this one's going to be equal size to this one. This one's equal size to this one. And it'll match up like that. Nice and easy. Parallel. So if I got my two lines, I got lines that are like this, and I didn't quite get them parallel, I can just be like, okay, this is parallel to this, and now they'll be parallel. Or say, not quite that, I want it perpendicular. This is perpendicular to this, and now they're perpendicular. Once again, it was kind of arbitrary which one turned, because we hadn't anchored either of them, and they're both blue. I can change that. If I use fix, I can fix that one in place. See how it turned green once it's fixed? Fixed literally means like glue it in place. So if I do my perpendicular now this one changed. So that's something you can also do with that fix. Okay, midpoint. Midpoint is, it literally finds the midpoint of the two lines and they match up. Or you can say that you want that center on the midpoint of that line and it'll snap to that midpoint. So you either need two things that have a midpoint or a point and something that has a midpoint to use that constraint. Okay, concentric. You guys should know this term, I hope. If not, well, now you're learning it. Concentric means that they have the same center. So a concentric circle, this circle is concentric with this one, and now they're on top of each other. Nice and simple with that one. Symmetric. Symmetric is where things get a little more interesting. I'm going to move this over here so I got something to play with. So symmetric, or symmetry, what you have to do is you select your two objects that you want to be symmetrical, and then you choose their axis of symmetry. That's the third thing you have to click. So now they've popped up. They're equal size and they're equal distant from there, and they're perfectly mirror imaged of each other. Sorry. Those are all of those constraints you need to worry about. Don't worry about curvature for right now. That's something that's far more advanced. We don't need to worry about it. Okay. So I'm going to actually apply these to an actual shape. So let me finish the sketch, my special sketch, and then I'm going to delete the sketch. Okay.